And in that moment, I just went into surrender. And the paramedic was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm great." And she said, "Don't panic. You're going to be fine." I said, "I'm not panicking. I'm cool. I'll be whatever I'm meant to be." And that is something that has stayed with me because now I realize that I've done everything I needed to do. I've done everything I wanted to do. So now I'm at this place where I've got to dream a new dream. What is it? What is it that I've never fulfilled? Or what is it that I would want to bring into my life to create a life I want to live and also a legacy as well for others? And this is when I really started to think, you know what? It's not that I haven't had healthy relationships before. I've had relationships that were healthy where I was at then, but I'm not there now. And people can only ever meet you where you're at. So this is my new learning. This is where the excitement is coming in. Right, okay, I now know how to do it, and I'm excited about going forward with that. So we can always dream new dreams, and this Aquarius moon is wanting us to dig deep within ourselves and see, are we living a life that if we thought our life was going to be snuffed out like that, would we be able to say, yes, I have no regrets and there is nothing that I want to do? Can you be at that? Or if you were told your life was in jeopardy and you had a matter of months to live, what changes would you make? Because if you have these changes, and this is a question I really feel for everybody to ask themselves, when you have these questions and you can give yourself the answers, if it's yes, if you're fine and you're happy and you've done everything you want to, then that's absolutely great. I salute you and I commend you. That is amazing. If there are things that you would change, then change them now. Okay? We are going into a different way of life where life is going to be simpler. We have been taught for so long that in life you have to struggle. We all have relationship wars. We don't like our job. We da 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 da. That is not how it is meant to be. And if you're clinging on to that old story and that old conditioning that life is meant to be, if you're not struggling, then you're not living, then you're going to struggle and make it hard. Life is meant to be lived with ease. It's meant to be easy. It's meant to be playful. It's like a dance. We go through life dancing, and that's fun. And we move through life dancing and we end up on the other side of the dance floor that is life. And it's effortless. We might have to learn the moves a bit, but if we just shut our eyes and go into our feelings, everybody can dance. It's not about how we look or what we're doing. It's about the fact that we are dancing. And this is what this Aquarius moon wants us to do. It's like I say, let our freak flag fly. If people think that you're a weirdo, there is something about them that is closed. There is something about you being in your truth and being in your freedom that is scaring them. So go out and scare them, because when you scare them, that's what will make them think. That's what will make them face themselves. When you are standing completely in your truth, you give permission to other people to be in their truth as well. And this is our purpose on this planet. It's not to struggle, 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 and then die on our deathbed full of regrets. It's to learn, it's to dance, it's to inspire, it's to be inspired. And that is our purpose. We all go, oh, what's our purpose? At school, we get the careers officer. What do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like, I want to be a child. I want to be a child. I want that childlike wonder. I want that wonder and awe of when I see things, and I get that. And yeah, people might say I'm childlike, but you know what? That's a really big compliment. People might say I'm silly or stupid. It's like, thank you very much. At least I am not cold and hard and rigid. So this is what this moon is wanting us to do, free ourselves from all restrictions. And we need to look at where we have felt empty within our life. Look at your life now. Ask yourself the question now, what is missing in my life? Okay? And then ask yourself, where have I been putting power into something else that has caused this void and caused this loss? Because if this is about a relationship and you're trying to make it work and you're giving all your power to that, you're going to feel powerless. You're not going to feel empowered. So whatever is empty in your life, or there is a void, it's because it's somewhere that you have been giving your power away. Okay? So what this is about, it is about filling your cup. It is about letting that cup flow. Let it flow over. You know? What's that song? It's coming through there. Is it My Cup's Full of Running Over or something? It was a thing my nana used to sing when I was little. When you used to do something with your hands with it, and it was the cup. And then, I don't know if anybody knows that. Please let me know, because that's just a memory that came in. They were playing that song, and I don't even know what it means. So this is a be safe to be you. Okay, it is completely 100% safe to be you. Don't try and change it. Okay. When you're trying to change something, that is when you're stepping out of the safety zone. That is when you're in trouble. That is when you're in danger, when you're not actually being yourself. So that is the energies for this Aquarius moon. I am going to do the readings for the other cards, for the other signs in a bit. But I want to speak. Have I got to say it? I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for, do I say it? Do I not? Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it. Right, okay. So this is going to be, maybe it's controversial. It might be a bit triggering or whatever. But remember, everything I say in these videos comes from a place of deep love, okay? That's where I come from. And if something triggers somebody, it's showing them a part in themselves that they need to heal. Imagine a gun. You point that gun at somebody and you go to pull that trigger. You are almost going to blow a part of them away. Blow it out. Okay? So when we get triggered, we can never underestimate the power of that and the value in that trigger. Because when we are triggered by something, it is showing us a part of ourselves that still needs to heal. Okay? Because when we are happy within ourselves, when we are healed, then it doesn't matter what anybody says or what anybody does, they cannot destroy our inner peace. Okay? So this is saying what piece of you needs healing, needs attention. So if you get triggered by this, then, then you will. I don't think it's bad at all. And they're telling me there's something I've got to read first. Okay. Right, so there was a post I wrote the other day. I don't know if anybody is on my social media. If you do, you will have seen it. They're telling me to read this again today because what I'm going to say afterwards is relative. So, right, okay. So what it's saying here is, are you able to hold what you are trying to pick up? The nodes have finally changed. Thank fuck for that. The cold harshness of Gemini now gone, and the sensual stability of Taurus alongside the depth and darkness of Scorpio. I feel comfortable in this space. My feelings and senses are highly attuned, so this is my jam. Personally, this next 2 years for me is about relationships. My Venus is in Scorpio in my first house, the house of self. My Mars is in Taurus, my seventh house, my house of relationships, how I consciously and cosmically partner. So my feminine Venus is dark. It speaks of embracing the shadow of the mystery, the depths, the pain, and the power of the feminine. The fierce, spiritual, seductive rawness, which comes from delving into the intense depths of the scorpionic sexuality and sensuality, the merging of the virgin and the whore. My masculine, my Mars, is stable. It's in Taurus. It's strong, sensual, sexual, and safe. The senses are of great importance: smell, taste, touch, sight, sound. Quality over quantity, patience, and presence are all paramount with this placement. This theme will affect you too. The lessons are already in full swing and the teachers are showing up on cue. We are taught so much about our gender roles from society, parents, friends, etc. A woman should be this, a man should be that. It's dangerous. The woke brigade have damaged this even further. Fear is prevalent on both sides. And within relationships, we look for someone to complete us rather than to be complete before we look for someone. We have a need for someone rather than be open to someone who can fulfill our needs. I hear the dialogue so often. I want a guy to treat me like a princess. I want a girl who looks like this. The misunderstanding of our roles is sad to witness. Take the time to understand ourselves, we will never understand another or be understood. And so the confusion and divide continues. Every relationship we have is a divine assignment, from a fleeting encounter to a committed, long lasting union. We meet to learn more about ourselves and to truly tap into that which we desire, to learn to access our vulnerability, our courage, our strength, and our sexuality. So, yeah. To be held in a space that allows us to fully open and embrace the primal essence of who we truly are. The essence and energy of the feminine is to be receptive and open. That of the masculine is to penetrate and protect. This could be where the triggers are coming in. If a woman doesn't understand, feel safe, or trust her femininity, then she will close and resist. If a man does not understand, feel safe, or trust in his masculinity, he will withdraw or try to overpower. The masculine needs respect. The feminine needs to be desired. Yet first we must access this within ourselves. Look back at the beginning of this piece, the Scorpio Taurus energies, they explain this perfectly. The masculine is a hunter, and deep down, beyond the layers of conditioning or trauma, the feminine desires to be hunted. The feminine is a nurturer. Remove the trauma and conditioning again, and the masculine desires to be nurtured, to be seen, to be listened to, and to be appreciated. This is not just about sex, although that follows suit and is a much more rewarding experience with two embodied partners who trust their own yes and trust their own no. It doesn't matter who you allow to share your body with, it will be a shallow exchange if the depth of who you truly are is not there. Intimacy means intimacy, to be present and allow yourself to be truly seen by another is hugely empowering and it's fucking beautiful. To allow ourselves to just be, to strip back the layers and be and feel held in a space where we can unfold is so precious. So, ladies, if you can't open up your femininity and hold him in his masculinity, then shut the door. And guys, if you can't hunt and hold her in her femininity, then please don't try to pick her up. We can never heal the feminine or the masculine wound without healing that of the other first and within ourselves. We must embrace our true selves and own it. And remember, we're in this together as teachers, as allies, as space holders, and as the future. We share a responsibility and we have work to do. And thank you for listening to that, because I didn't realize it was going to go on so long. So this ties in perfectly with what I was shown today. And just a couple of hours ago, I was in tears with emotion because of the depth of the message, the importance of the message that came through. And what I feel at this moment, what I was shown is there's been a tipping point. There's been a tipping point, okay? Especially within the masculine. So what is happening? This is the death of the patriarchy, okay? This is it. It's crumbling. It's they no longer have the power that they did, and this misogyny and all of that was there. where they overpower because they're not truly in their masculine. It's dying. This power, this control, this greed, this money, all of that is crumbling now. And what they said today, and as we go into tomorrow is a big day. I know it's the Chinese Lunar New Year, but they said it's like a seesaw, and there are that many strong, soft, masculine doing the work at the moment that it's tipped. They no longer have to go into battle and fight. They have to be at peace with who they are and with themselves. And there's a huge movement around the world. And this is happening with the feminine as well, because we are stepping back from our masculine roles and saying, yeah, it's okay if you want to hold that door open for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, a woman can do what a man can do in a lot of times, but now we're feeling the need where we don't have to. And it is nice to be desired. It is nice to be nurtured. I know I mentioned last time about my friend stepping in to be a protector. And the thing was, I was allowing him to protect me. In the past, I had never done that. I was so far in my masculine that I had to be the protector, and I had to be the protector of the masculine that was around me. And in this last 40 days, we've had Venus going retrograde. So think about the lessons that you have learned within relationships and gender roles and archetypes and everything within this last 40 days. Because I've been back in England, in my hometown, and I have seen the worst of the archetypes. I have seen the worst, and I have seen the best. And it's so interesting to view it now with different eyes. I have also seen the triggers within myself come up. Oh, wow, that's what I would have used to have done here. And then I step back and go, yeah, that's not the new me. That's the old me. That's how I had to be. I had to be in that survival mode in order to get through. I had to embrace my masculine because there wasn't strong protectors around there. And now, because I'm receptive, the guys are stepping up. The ones that can't do it are stepping back, and that's great. They're not ready. But this is beautiful to see and beautiful to witness. And this is where the world is going to change. If we think back to how our ancestors done it, the woman made the home. They created what was there, and the guys stood guard, and they foraged and they brung back what the woman could create with. And I'm not saying that all women need to be homebodies and that. This is, like I say, this is metaphorically, but this is happening again. And until we can step back into how we're truly meant to be rather than what society has forced us to do, it's like it's forced us to this pinnacle now, and we cannot go any further. So we drop the control, we drop the patriarchy, we drop the wounded masculine, we drop the wounded feminine, and we step into the empowered. And this is where the world is going to change. This is where the union comes together. And this is what we have all been praying for without even realizing. This is how the world can heal. And as today, these downloads were coming through, I was getting the song and they were playing There'll Be Bluebirds Over the White Cliffs of Dover. I'm getting emotional now just going back to it. And it was V-Day. It was the end of the war, the end of the battle. The soldiers were coming home. The guys were coming home. There was freedom, sons, husbands, brothers, fathers, all of that coming home to their place where they have a place. And this is what is happening within the world. This is what the age of Aquarius is about. It's harmony, it's understanding, it's seeing how we can work together rather than working apart. Seeing that we're not enemies, we're actually allies. And we kind of get where we want to go by ourselves. We've got to do it together. And this is the beauty of what is coming through. So this is it. The war is over. There might still be a few battles, but the war is over now. So, like I say, please give out some love and some whoop whoops, to the masculines in your life who are breaking the chain, they're breaking the curse, they're breaking the spell of segregation. And give the same to the feminine who are being receptive, who are saying, yeah, I'm being open to receiving rather than having to go head down and plow through and form my own path. Why don't we walk this path together? Because that is will the path will have heart. So that's it. I wasn't expecting that on a Monday morning, but there was so much. I couldn't find the words to explain it properly, but in a nutshell, that's it. Even our parents, look to our parents and, our fathers, mothers, if you're lucky enough to have them there, and acknowledge the struggle that they've been through in trying to fit into a